So first of all, very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sumit Pathak, and I'm working as Assistant Manager at Maccaferri, India. A very warm welcome to all of you to our live webinar session on Engineered Solutions for Watercourse Management, which will be presented by Mr. Salil Chaudhary. Before we start the session, there are some points which we would like everyone to have a note of. So there will be a Q&A session that will happen just after this presentation, and we request everyone to type your questions in the chat box. We'll be taking your questions, and we further request everyone to type your name and your organization name as well. Presenter will be taking the organization name as well. In case we are unable to revert you on your questions during the webinar, we'll get back to you over email. Also to mention, there will be a feedback form link which will be shared in the chat box after the Q&A session. We request everyone to attend that as it helps us improving our sessions. Moving on, I would like to give a brief overview about Officina Maccaferri. Headquartered in Italy, we are a 140-year young organization with sales spread across 130 countries with more than 3,000 employees, 23 factories, and 70 subsidiaries. Maccaferri Indian subsidiary was incorporated in 1998 as Maccaferri Environmental Solution Private Limited. We have been associated with some of the most prestigious construction projects across the country. On this note, I would like to invite Mr. Chaudhary to start the presentation. Mr. Chaudhary is working as a business unit head for DT division in India and Nepal and has 15 years of experience in multiple infrastructure sectors. Please, sir.
Thank you, Sumit. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for taking out your valuable time. I know we are in the middle of the day during the lunch hour, so great that we are able to do this engagement before the lunch, and I'll try and make it as interesting, as interactive as possible. And as my colleague Mr. Sumit mentioned, for any queries, for any questions, please feel free to write in the chat box. We'll try and address them now or definitely over an email later on. So this is the flow of the presentation. I'll quickly start the presentation. We have given you a brief about the background of Maccaferri. So I'll dive into the watercourse management. Well, watercourse management is one of the biggest and the most challenging tasks of the 21st century. But watercourse management, it is basically the regulation and maintenance of rivers, streams, and other different waterways to control the water flow and to ensure ecological balance, and at the same time prevent flooding and other pertinent issues. Well, as hydraulic engineers, we are called upon to meet the need of not only the present, but also ensure we do not compromise the ability of our future generations to meet their own requirements at their time. But do we design for the exposure that we are facing today, or we keep in mind the conditions that our future generations might expect? Well, in 120 years from now, what will be the exposure conditions be? Will they be better or worse? We have so many situations around us, we have so many changes around us, and we can expect these conditions, either good or worse, will definitely not be the same. So do we consider this uncertainty with our design? Do we select the product, the application that is more durable, which will reduce the current risk and also keep in mind the future prospects that might come? Well, with the growing changes, there is an increasing need for a highly robust solution to address the worsening, the changing climate, and the changing operating conditions which are faced by all structures. Well, a significant demand on our woven wire mesh solutions, the double twist mesh, today is from the increasingly aggressive and the highly abrasive working environments in which these materials, these products are used. So what is the importance of sustainable water resource management? At Maccaferri, environmental protection is at the core of our design, and we design and develop solutions keeping in mind the quality of life and to ensure the environment is preserved for our future generations. So, we optimize the use of site-owned materials, reducing the footprint, the carbon footprint, and also through our designs, through our products, reducing the site waste by designing custom-made, fit-for-site materials and applications. And eco-friendly approaches such as our bioengineering techniques and natural erosion control methods, they improve the ecosystem health by fostering natural growth, enhancing the biodiversity, and providing a natural habitat for the wildlife, which we will touch upon in the slides to come. So I will quickly move on to the presentation. And all these activities, all the discussions that we undertake today and across various forums that Maccaferri engages through, the objective is to have sustainable infrastructure management, and in today's case, sustainable water resource management. A little bit about the history. Well, as my colleague explained, we are a 140-year-old organization, and over here you can see a project that was undertaken at the turn of the last century, last century, I'm sorry, is still standing strong. The bank protection work which we undertook at River Reno in Italy, you can see the pictures at various timelines from 1894 to 1970 to as recent as 2018. Now jumping into the design concept and principles that Maccaferri follows and advocates for maintaining these, great solutions. The basic principles. So the RiverWorks design is based on taking the data, the statistical data that is available, and also undertaking the risk assessment associated with these solutions. And in the river engineering practices, it is not only necessary to identify and analyze different scenarios, but also look beyond the data. For example, various pertinent infrastructures that are there in the site, the overall benefit that the community might arrive. So there is the planning that we undertake when we are devising our solution. We provide the remediation, the solutions to it, and also in certain conditions where the time and the situations are of highly emergent nature, we are able to devise applications through our portfolio where quick mitigation, quick control solutions can be provided. And what are the characteristics of a watercourse when we are engaging in this watercourse management? So starting from the top of the mountain where these water bodies originate, going down the mid slope, the valley, and towards the valley. So when we are at the top of the mountain, at the higher, steeper ranges, there is steep gradient, there is severe erosion, and there is a lot of problem of coarse bed load. The solutions that can be undertaken, Gabion weirs, protection of bank by erosion control. When we move down below, the gradient becomes a little moderate. However, there are different problems related in this region, but our solutions of similar nature by Gabion weirs, bank protection can allow for the protection. And when we move towards the valley, the gradients, they low down, they reduce considerably, but again, the problem persists of bank erosion. We have to channelize the river. So by stabilizing and providing erosion control methods through our various applications, we are able to tackle the problem in the valley region as well. A few typical conditions. This is a follow on to the previous slide. So there are small size drainage channels, which are typical of reclamation areas, various drainage networks, small channels, and also then we move on to the medium and the large drainage channels. Over here, the typical of drainage channels with permanent water, which is characterized by flood events, are there. And then a different condition of retention solution, where there is a problem of erosion of the toe. This is generally along the river banks, which has instability due to the erosion of the toe, which creates a failure of the surface, which at times when we see, especially in our great rivers in the north and the northeastern region erodes the entire bank of the river. And then another condition where our applications are used is aligning or controlling the rivers. This is basically to manage the rivers for various purposes, be it controlling the flood prone situations, prevention of erosion, and also for purposes like agriculture, navigation of these rivers. Another situation that arises is grade control. When there are steep grades, when there are higher undulations, we can manage and regulate the water flow so that we are able to channelize these channels in a more appropriate way. Lastly, another condition that arises is underwater applications. Especially this is prevalent when we are working in the high monsoon seasons, when the protection works has to be undertaken, when scar protection has to be undertaken, and we do not have any ways or means, or there is very less feasibility to wait for the dry condition, that we have to undertake the construction. Over here, our pre-filled, pre-packed Gabion solutions come into the picture. So now a few latest innovations, a few new benchmarks that Maccaferri has brought to the market. As leaders, as innovators, it is our responsibility to continuously innovate, to continuously improve the existing solutions, because the products, the applications which fit the bill today or a decade ago might not fit the bill as soon as tomorrow. So a little brief about our latest innovations. This is a small video which shows how the abrasion in certain hydraulic works, hydraulic structures happens. So as you can see, all along the river bodies, we have these Gabion enclosed mattresses and weirs and various structures. And when the water and the sediments, they flow in these channels, they continuously erode the coating of polymer, which in turn exposes the steel mesh which is there. So this is a very common and a regular phenomena, but as we know, the conditions get more and more aggressive. How do we cater to this loss? How do we improve our coating? In this scenario, our advanced polymeric coating, Polymac, comes into the picture. This can be used for all double twist products, be it gabions, be it mattresses, be it our hybrid retaining structures like the Terra Mesh, Green Terra Mesh. This advanced polymeric coating can be used for the entire double twist portfolio. And how it is better than the conventional PVC coating? It has a 10 times more abrasion. So when these structures are exposed to higher velocities, higher particles moving in the water bodies, they are able to resist 10 times more than a normal PVC coated DT structure. Higher resistance to low temperatures. When we are doing installations in the higher reaches of Himalayas, where even the variation in temperature due to seasonality is very high, they perform excellently. A much higher, a 4 times higher UV resistance, because most of our structures across a larger period of the year are exposed to the UV rays. So they have a 4 times more higher UV resistance. And since they have a higher abrasion resistance, when we are installing these structures and when we are dumping stones, when we are placing stones, because of their higher abrasive properties, the damages, they are able to tackle it in a much higher performance as compared to the conventional coatings. So this is how Maccaferri is continuously improving its own solutions for the overall benefit of the market and the environment. And the great thing about Polymac is it is just not suitable for aggressive environments to cater to the higher needs, but because it is free of heavy metals, it does not release any polluting substances into these ecologically sensitive areas so that they allow the integration of the live species in these ecological situations with the applications that are placed. Moving on, another unique application that Maccaferri has devised is the Reno mattress, the Renomac Plus. Taking a lead from our conventional mattresses, our conventional Gabion mattresses, we have been able to develop a more concise, a more confined mattress by allowing double diaphragms as separations and also X ties, which are able to enclose the mattress more tightly, and the whole mesh is coated with polymer. So this basically allows for lesser number of stones for the same purpose. A little brief on the environmental benefits also because of this. As I was mentioning, the polymer coating is highly inert, doesn't interfere with the local ecology. So as you can see, when the mattress is applied on any slopes or on any river trainings work, after a few seasons, the nature takes its role. And as you can see in the before and after, it is ecologically more sound. It is giving a much more natural outlook. We will not even see that any physical intervention has been undertaken. But how is the mattress better as compared to the conventional stone pitching, the riprap solution, or the very commonly conventionally used Gabion mattresses? If we talk about the environmental benefit to start with, we will touch upon the economical benefits in the subsequent slides. So the emissions are 82% less for the same shear stress, for the same flow we are designing as compared to conventional stone pitching. This is due to a very simple fact: immense reduction in natural resources. If I am to quarry for a 100-meter stretch of a river length, the amount of stones would be considerably less when I am doing the same solution using the Reno mattress plus. What are the benefits? So these are the certain indirect benefits. Because the size of the mattress is more confined, the structure is more robust, there is a much higher speed of installation. Reduced stones, that would mean for the same linear length, I can convert a higher speed for the project. Moving on, a few sustainable structures that can be done for the riverbank protection. Am I audible? Sumit, can you just confirm?
Yeah, yes, sir, you're audible. It's clear.
Great,
Yeah.
great. So yes, moving on. For smaller size drainage channels where the protection work is of a less intrusive nature, we have our MacMat R, which is a geosynthetic mat. It is a geomat which is reinforced with our double twist wire mesh, which allows for protection on slopes, which allows for growth of vegetation in a matter of days and weeks. And this, after a couple of seasons, as we had shown in the previous pictures, get completely covered by natural vegetation. So it allows for a complete natural fascia. We will not even see what physical intrusion has been made. Rather than going for conventional stone pitchings, concrete linings, and so on and so. When we are dealing with slightly medium or larger channels, over here our mattresses and the newly conceived Reno mattress plus comes into picture. These are basically stone filled mattresses ranging with thickness from 0.3 meters to as low as 0.17 meters, which showcases the immense benefit in terms of cost it brings. And also, when we are doing deep erosions, when we are doing structures where the erosion problem, where the retention problem is really high, over here we have our family of retention solutions, the TerraMesh systems, our time-tested Gabions, and again the Renomattress Plus. And all these solutions can be used together depending upon the local problem, depending upon the situation that has to be catered to. For example, in the bottom right picture, you can see it is a combination of our retention system using Gabions, and to protect against any scarring, we have made a launch apron using our mattresses. This is just a generic scheme depending upon the situation at hand, depending upon the problem which we are dealing with, we can devise the solution using the large portfolio of systems we have. As I was earlier mentioning in the initial slides, when we are to align, when we are to control the river, over here we can create groins, we can use channels to basically control the flow of the river, to control the gradient of the river, and these are a few depictions of the same. Again, if we are to control the grade, if we are to ensure that in steeper grades we are able to make physical intervention through our gabions, it can be done through our gabions, through our retaining structures. And this is a beautiful depiction of the same. Moving on to underwater applications. In certain seasons, especially the current season of high monsoons, if work has to be undertaken that cannot be done through conventional stone-filled gabions, there is no feasibility to install the gabions because of the high flood levels. We have our Reno Mac and QB Mac. These are pre-filled gabion structures. The gabions are pre-filled on the banks. They are put on barges and can be easily lifted and placed through our team of specialized divers and placed at the right location, and the work can keep on moving at great speed. So it allows for the work to continue, and also we have ways and means to not only design and to install as well. Moving on to a very important questions. What are the benefits of all these great applications? What are the economical differences? What are the cost benefits that these solutions? Because is it that these all solutions are highly expensive, not viable? Absolutely not. These solutions are not only environmentally beneficial, but economically sound as compared to conventional and existing solutions. But when we are to discuss the advantages of all these new approaches, but let's say how much does a bank protection work cost? We would take in the cost of designing, we would take in the cost of the materials, we would take in the cost of execution works, the raw materials that are to be there, the maintenance charges, etc., etc. And that is why when we're looking at the purchase price of these certain products, it is not the only part that we end up spending. The total cost of ownership includes the purchase price of these products as well as the appurtenant works, the cost of raw material, the cost of installation, the cost of labor, what would be the maintenance cost if I'm going ahead with conventional solutions, what would be the medium, large maintenance periods that I have to undertake. And through these innovative solutions, when less material is being used, lesser steel, lesser stone means a higher saving. That's a direct cost benefit. When we are looking at a faster installation period, these are optimized. The work can move at breakneck speed, lower labor costs, and higher output. And which a topic which is very important nowadays, which our honorable government is also pushing, that the solutions have to be green so that we can be a net zero emitting country. These are green solutions because the resources that are to be used are much, much lesser. There is a lot less burden on our fragile environment when we are undertaking development using these solutions. And our solutions are not only theoretically made, but they have undergone elaborate laboratory and field tests. So when we're talking about our Renault Mattress Plus, we have undertaken an elaborate 3-year testing campaign with the Colorado State University, and a huge R&D investment was undertaken. So which resulted in showcasing that it is 70 to 73% times more effective for a similar design, a similar situation in comparison to conventional solutions like riprap, stone pitching, and a few others. Moving on to the cost benefits. These are absolute direct benefits that our solutions bring to the table for our customers. Taking into consideration the comparison of Renault Mattress Plus, which we have briefed you about, in comparison vis-a-vis with the conventional solution. So if we are comparing it with traditional rip-wrap solution for the same shear stress, about more than 70% reduction in the thickness, which is a direct cost saving in terms of raw material. Even if we are using conventional mattresses, conventional double twist mattresses of higher thicknesses, half a meter or so, there is a 50% reduction that can be achieved using our unique Renault Mattress Plus solution. And what is our response to these challenges? Are these challenges briefed in certain codal guidelines? Are the design parameters included in the published guidelines? 100%. So from the CWC guidelines to the IS 16014s, various IRC, SPs, and the MORTH guidelines, from product to design, our solutions are listed, generic, and out there for the market to use and to improve the efficiency of their projects. Now moving on to a few case studies. So whatever has been briefed till now is covered in the case studies, as it's not all show but also go. We not only develop products, we execute projects as well. So I will take you through a few beautiful, iconic India-centric projects that have been undertaken, India and Nepal, I'm sorry, a few beautiful case studies that have been undertaken in the last couple of decades by Maccaferri, by partnering with various executioning and regulatory agencies. Starting off with a great project in Guwahati, Assam, where we were able to retain the entire bank using our hybrid green terra mesh, our high strength geogrid, and our textiles. Again, another project in Assam using for river training works using gabions, mattresses, and the sack gabions in submerged conditions. As you can see, this is a very nice picture of the Valmiki Nagar project in Bihar on the Indo-Nepal border, where the entire bank protection was undertaken through our mattresses, our hybrid terra meshes, complementing our high-strength geogrid paralink. And this is not only a great solution for the ecology, it has become a great tourist hotspot. So, as you can imagine, it is bringing great revenue as well to the country. Again, a project in Nepal, we were making these groins and mattresses, and you can see the whole project has come out beautifully. Another project in Nepal at the Bagmati River, where channelizing the river, providing erosion control along the banks using our double twist portfolio. For people who are staying in the Delhi NCR, most of us cross the Delhi-Noida bridge pretty much every day, and protection of the weirs, providing bank protection using our Gabion matrices. This was done more than a decade and a half ago. And another nice project at the Rumoria in Assam, this was along the Brahmaputra River, where our Gabion matrices, which were filled with locally available material, encapsulated in geobags. So over here in this image, the product itself is not visible because the nature has beautifully covered and incorporated the solution in its own growth. And as you can see, it's a beautiful green solution and provides great erosion control on the very difficult Brahmaputra River. Another iconic and a very recent project that we have done, the erstwhile Khidkiya Ghat in the Honorable Prime Minister's constituency of Varanasi, which has now been rechristened to the Namo Ghat. Using a combination of our matrices, hybrid terra meshes, we were able to do a great bank protection work, which not only protects against the erosion, but also is now a tourist destination in Varanasi. For a project in Paradeep in Odisha, again, protecting against the very difficult Mahanadi river, we have our Reno mattress. And as you can see by the timeline mentioned, this project was executed 12 years ago, and it is performing beautifully. A project up north at the Joshiara barrage using our Reno mattress. And again, in Varanasi, providing bank protection and protection against erosion using a combination of matrices, terra mesh, and our high strength geogrids. Lastly, a project in Bihar where you can see the bank protection works has been undertaken using our mattress and geotextile. This is a similar project in Patna. Lastly, a few key takeaways. So how do we design our solutions? How do we incorporate our products in the works? Through our unique, innovative, and open to all design softwares. And for everyone present in this webinar, if you would like to access these great designing tools, you can simply type software in the chat box and we will assist you. And you can also scan the QR code which is present on the screen to access the same. And it is not only just downloading these software suites, but if any assistance, if any training is needed for your particular projects, for your particular application areas, simply reach out to us, simply write training, and we will do the required development training work with you. And what benefits do these softwares allow? They have enhanced design capabilities. They allow for incorporating cost-effective solutions. They increase the efficiency, a very easy to use interface, and highly accurate, taking into note both the local and the global failure scenarios. So highly accurate. And we are not only performance certification, but we also promote environmental and digital ones. As you can see, we are EPD and BIM certified, and you can visit these respective links to view the same. Lastly, as we are on board with the Honorable Government's vision for a net zero emission country, and we want to contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we want to promote solutions which are not only innovative and beneficial for the civil engineering applications, but also reduce the burden on our fragile environment. Lastly, a few key takeaways. Sustainable water resource management is very crucial to the quality of life and ensuring we are able to preserve the environment for our future generations. As we mentioned about the advanced polymac coating on our wire mesh products, it allows for a higher sustainability and to be used in more difficult situations. We briefed you about the Reno Mattress Plus, which is an innovative, flexible erosion protection system, which not only allows for quicker installation, allows for much lesser use of raw material for the said application. And lastly, our online portal, our design softwares are free for use, are available for the industry, our colleagues, our peers, and we are here to help one and all in order to learn how to interface with these softwares. Well, thank you, and thank you once again for everyone present for allowing your valuable time. Your time is absolutely of key importance to us, and if we can work with you for your particular needs, for your particular projects, please reach out to us through email, through our contact, and we will be happy to get back and work with you. Thank you all.